Now about electric vehicles and policy in California. This comes after some recent news that Tesla buyers could be excluded from lucrative EV credits in California. Following that news, Democratic Representative Khanna tweeted about Tesla's production in his district and urged California leaders not to play politics with keeping manufacturing in the state. He asked, have we learned nothing from snubbing Elon Musk at the Biden EV summit? Congressman Khanna joins us right now. His district actually encompasses the heart of Silicon Valley. And, Ro, you really caught my attention, kind of getting caught up with some of the things that were playing out. Let's back this up a little bit and talk about Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and his reaction post-election. He basically rolled out a lot of things to try and say that he was going to protect California from whatever is coming in with this administration. But one of the things he laid out was the idea that California taxpayers would continue to have a subsidy for EV sales, electric vehicle sales in the state, but that Tesla might not actually qualify. Tesla purchases might not actually qualify for that. It's a little crazy. Elon Musk pointed that out and said, you know, he's the only company making electric vehicles in California, and you weighed in on it, too. You want to explain how you weighed in and why?
Well, California having electric vehicle tax credits makes all the sense, but excluding Elon Musk and Tesla for probably political reasons is just foolish. The reality is Tesla is the biggest manufacturer of electric vehicles in California. The Inflation Reduction Act explicitly got rid of the caps on companies like Tesla so that they could produce more electric vehicles. And if you're looking, just 3 days ago, the New York Times had a report that China is leading 1.7 million electric vehicles exporting around the world. We're way behind, and we need to be producing more of these electric vehicles in the United States. So I don't think politics should interfere with manufacturing or with an issue of our national competitiveness.
It's probably worth pointing out that Tesla employs over 20,000 people in your district. They manufactured more than 550,000 cars in your district last year. What has the reaction been from the governor and beyond in the legislature?
Well, they say that they want to help smaller companies gain market share. That's all well and good. But the point is the electric vehicle market, as you know, has a much smaller share right now than internal combustion engines. So we should be helping anyone who's producing these electric vehicles. But more broadly, we certainly shouldn't have a sense that politics is intervening. I mean, you can disagree with Elon Musk, as I do, on a number of issues and speak out about that, but don't target a company because of political views.
You said that. The governor has not copped to that. What makes you think that this is purely politics?
Well, look, I mean, the governor and others are going to say this is to help the small manufacturers, and even the federal regulations had a cap of 200,000. But the Democratic Party itself, with the Inflation Reduction Act, took away those caps from Tesla and other EV manufacturers because we said what was more important to our competitiveness was to have electric vehicle manufacturing flourish in the United States. And the reality is that there is no clear rationale, in my view, that isn't colored by politics. I mean, when Biden didn't invite Elon Musk and showered praise on Mary Barra as the visionary for electric vehicle revolution, that was just nonsense, and the country knew that. I mean, no disrespect to Mary Barra, but come on, she was dragging her feet on electric vehicles, and Tesla helped create the electric vehicle revolution with a grant from Obama. And people hate that kind of politics.
You know, Congressman, this is a pretty interesting delve into what's happening. There are Democrats who kind of look at what happened with this election and say, OK, we're going to fight, we're going to fight, we're going to fight. And that's what Gavin Newsom is doing. There's others who say, hey, this is showing us that we have to live a little differently. We have to make sure we reach out across the aisle. I know you've been in touch with Elon Musk, who obviously has been very involved in the Trump administration on this. What's the outreach? What's the message that you get back and forth when you're in touch with Elon?
Well, I try to call balls and strikes based on what I believe. So when I talk to Elon Musk, if he's for looking at the defense budget and looking at the five primes who've had a monopoly on the defense budget and wants to make cuts there, then I'm going to say let's work together on that. It's hypocritical for progressive Democrats who've been calling for defense cuts and holding defense contractors accountable to suddenly say, no, we don't want to do it because Elon Musk wants to do it. On the other hand, Elon Musk and I have a disagreement on the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and I have let him know that I think that's an agency that's saving Americans money and helping Americans not get credit card fees. So, you know, you have to engage, in my view, in a rational conversation. Tell people where they agree, where you agree, and work together, and where you disagree, make the case why you disagree.
I think, you know, Gavin Newsom and maybe even California, Roe, is in like still living in that pre-election world. You had to have had your eye. I mean, we were going to run, and you know, the Joe Roe ticket would have been a more centrist thing. I just had someone write in, tell Roe to run for governor. I'm a staunch Republican, but it's so wacky out here. I would vote for him. And you are a reasonable, I think, alternative to what we get from California most of the time. Congressman, I mean, has nothing changed? No one in California learned anything from what happened on, what was that, November 5th?
Are you changing the plan, Joe? Are you
we're out.
Governor
We're out.
Lieutenant Governor
we
of
were way too. We're way too set.
Are you moving to California?
I love California. I just wish that Newsom hadn't ruined it, or that the left hadn't ruined it.
Look, California has an incredible, as you point out, amount of things to be proud of. I mean, we're leading on the innovation, on AI, on a lot of advanced manufacturing.
You want to kill the golden goose, so you don't want to let Elon Musk make cars or give him. I mean, it's
Roe does.
Yeah, Roe does. No, I know, but it's you're in a pre-election. I don't know. It's like hitting your head against the wall out there because it feels so good when you stop. It makes no sense, right? And you're saying it, but you're just saying it a lot nicer.
Well, I think California needs to realize that we're part of something much bigger, which is the United States of America, and that we need to look out for how we help with the reindustrialization of this country, how we make America a manufacturing superpower. And California has a lot to offer, but it needs to be part of the larger conversation. And I'm not saying don't resist Donald Trump where you disagree, but there are areas where we can find common ground and people want us to work together. You don't have to start the next election a month after the previous one before the person has even assumed office.
So what does that translate to on your work there in Washington, Congressman? What are you doing? What do you think is going to happen with this incoming administration? How will you work with them? And what areas will you not work with them?
Well, in the areas of manufacturing, I mean, if they're looking at putting strategic tariffs on China, which is dumping goods still into the United States, I'll work with them. If they're looking at a tax credit for manufacturers to keep manufacturing here, I'd work with them. How about raising the corporate tax rate for companies that are offshoring to Mexico to 21% so they don't have a cheaper tax rate here in the United States? I'd work with them on that. They want to have a program for more electricians, plumbers, machinists. I'd work with them on that. Capping interest rates that Donald Trump said. I'd work with them on that. Cutting wasteful spending. You know, FDR was for cutting wasteful spending in the government. Why should Democrats say, don't look at wasteful spending? Let's look at it, and I'd work there. Those are just a few of the issues. But there are issues where we have strong disagreements, and I'd push back there. And my sense is that if we could just get the country working together for a year on key areas, we'd make some progress and earn some trust back with the American people.
Congressman Khanna, thank you. It's always good to see you, and we'll talk to you again soon.